This is going to be a fun video, everybody. You know what we're talking about? We're talking about profit taking. Go figure. After a crazy bear market, as we get ready to kind of end 2023, go into 2024, I want to start talking about profit taking because truly time is running out in terms of planning for this. At least for me personally, the way my mind works, the things that I need to get ready for, it's running out of time as we get ready to end of the year, go into the 2024 Bitcoin halving in the spring, which is months away, and potentially this next bull market, which could be the most crazy bull markets. It could be a very volatile bull market. It's months away. And the question I have for you right off the bat here is this. Are you prepared? Because I know this season that we're waiting for, this is like what a bull market season really looks like, that parabolic phase. This time goes by so fast. So for me personally, I need months. I need an entire bear market to prepare for this scenario. And if we're going to get that scenario, and it's an if, there's no guarantees we're going to get the scenario, a bull market breaking all-time highs. But if it does happen, I want to be prepared. And that's what this video is about, what I'm looking for on the Bitcoin charts and how it applies to altcoins. So I'm going to use Bitcoin on this monthly chart to lay the groundwork. It's the roadmap, everybody. It's the timeline roadmap for what this plan looks like for me personally, things that I'm waiting for to trigger on this chart that have not triggered yet. And then I'm going to dig into the ADA charts. It's zoomed out on the weekly, but it's not just ADA. What I'm going to show you on the Cardano charts, it applies to XRP, Solana, AVAX, Ethereum, whatever. It's just the approach is really the same. It's just a different chart. So I'm going to dive in and talk about those things. So hit the subscribe. Everybody, please hit that like button, turn the notifications on. Your support means a ton to me as we prepare for this next bull cycle. Let's jump into it. So this is Bitcoin on the monthly. I said time frame perspective, time frame roadmap, because that's what this is. This is exactly what it is. For me, I'll say it right from the beginning. With where Bitcoin is, with what it's showing me, there have been nice gains, and there are people out there taking profits in crypto, rightfully so. There's cryptos up hundreds and hundreds of % from the bear market low. But for me, when I look at certain things on the Bitcoin charts, in terms of these cycles, what's getting ready to happen, it's too early. It's really too early to take any meaningful profit. RSI on the monthly, right around 60. Go back to the last cycle, right around 60. Bitcoin hadn't triggered the indicator that I'm waiting for. Hadn't done it yet, but it's getting ready to. That's why I say time is running out. That is why I think it's getting ready to happen. And that's why I'm doing this video. Cycle before that, around 60 on the RSI, slower moving momentum oscillator, but giving us really good insight into this new trend of Bitcoin. Going back here, 2016, post-2016 halving, getting ready to happen. So let's talk about what these indicators are, what I'm waiting for to hit, and then I'm going to pivot to ADA and look at the charts and really talk about, well, what does it look like taking profits? Where am I doing that? What type of allocation am I putting towards that? So this is Bitcoin monthly. All of you know, I shouldn't say all of you, but a lot of you know, one of my favorite indicators, I'm going to keep talking about, especially as we approach it, swing high of the bull market to the bear market low. It's a Fibonacci retracement. It's just signaling this area of, we hit this high, we came back down, and we're pulling back in. We're retracing back into this lower high resistance. That's that green area. I call it the bull market doors. It's a 786 line to a 618 line. It's around $48 to $40 or $59,000. That's the area that I'm waiting for. That's the bull market doors to be broken. I'm just going to put it here. Now, one thing I just want to point out, because it's important for this entire video, the last cycle, bull market high to bear market low, when it triggered last cycle, it was November 2020. Many of you remember this, right? Boom, right there, breaking the bull market doors. I'm waiting for that. Now, once this happens for Bitcoin, and there's another indicator, there's actually kind of a couple indicators I want to discuss, but once this happens, and Bitcoin breaks this area, for me, as we pivot and we start looking at altcoins like ADA, what those altcoins are doing will become very important for me as I warm up my selling fingers. They start getting a little itchy at this point. Right now, they're not so much. But when these bull market doors are broken, yes, they will be. And I will be thinking about it. I want to discuss what that looks like. But notice confluent with this. I'm really, as we go into this new cycle, last cycle we had the moving averages, we have RSI momentum oscillator, the MACD, all of that. We have the bull market doors last cycle. As we go into this next cycle, I'm very excited to have, I'm using these Lux Algo indicators. Many of you know they're a sponsor of this channel, but I'm very excited to have all these different algorithms running on the screen now. I'm getting different data perspectives. The more indicators that I'm able to have triggering at the same time, it gives me even more confidence in my plan. So, and again, there's absolutely no guarantees that they all come together and work so nicely, but it really helps boost my confidence. And one of those things that's triggering here, you see the smart trail? Well, I shouldn't say it's triggering, but confluent with this resistance at the Fibonacci is a smart trail. And basically, smart trail is, it's signaling a new downtrend, obviously in red. That's a downtrend. You can see it, Bitcoin. And then in blue, an uptrend, right? That's what it's signaling. It's such an important indicator. Any uptrend or downtrend indicator for a macro investor, it's just so important. But here's the thing. That resistance area is crucial, obviously, but it's the triggering of the bullish uptrend indicator, right? That smart trail signaling bullish. Notice when it did it last cycle. It's when it was breaking the bull market doors right here, November 2020. I'm waiting for this to happen. That's kind of a double indicator for me. Bull market doors broken, boom, and then also new smart trail to the upside. Some of you might be like, all right, well, look how late it triggered the red smart trail. Look how late it triggered in the bear market, right? Why didn't it trigger all the way up here or earlier or even in the last bull market? Why did it wait so long? What's really cool about this Lux Algo, the signals and overlays indicator that I'm using on this monthly chart, the other indicator here, I don't know if you can see it, this green line, that brighter green line right there, that's a trend catcher, and that aims to detect very early trends. So on the macro, you can see that has triggered. Now, going back to the last cycle, that triggered also very early, way earlier than the smart trail in blue. And you can just see it was Bitcoin exiting the bear, right? So it's like same type of deal, different, obviously a different visualization right now, but it triggered most recently, pretty recently. What I want to say, and then we're going to talk about how this looks like in terms of when these things actually go off and what it looks like to take profit. What I do want to say is this. If you look at when this trend catcher went off, Bitcoin moved up to test the Fibonacci bull market doors. So swing high to swing low. Remember, there's our bull market doors in green. Trend catcher goes off. Bitcoin made a move to the upside and it failed. And Bitcoin made its way back down to the trend catcher and to the 20-month moving average. The reason I'm bringing that up is right now, Bitcoin is, if we place the Fibonacci back on the screen, Bitcoin has not even tested the bull market doors yet. That green Fibonacci retracement hasn't been tested yet. It's been on its way alongside a trend catcher, but even if it keeps going, $50,000, right? Trend catcher making a move to the upside, there's no guarantee that it doesn't do exactly what it did last cycle and just consolidate briefly back down to the trend catcher, back down to the 20-month moving average or the 50-month moving average, back down to this entire area. So I just want to keep that in mind. It's not like just because the trend catcher triggered and just because the bull market doors are right above Bitcoin, we're getting ready to go parabolic into the bull market. I think there's so much room for consolidation right now and for a move to the downside. So in the short term, it's about waiting for me. But that's exactly my point of doing the video. I'm using this time to prepare for when the triggers do go off, for when Bitcoin does make the power move, boom, right through the bull market doors. I'm waiting for that to happen. Now, that's what it looks like from a time frame perspective. I think it will be post 2024 halving. If it happens sooner, this will be unprecedented. This would be something Bitcoin has not done. It will be an entirely different video, an exciting video to do about how bullish this is for all of crypto. I think it will be post Bitcoin halving when we break the doors, and then it's time for me to really plan. So what does that look like? Talking about it from an altcoin perspective, using Cardano as just an example, but this applies to everything. Cardano, and I would say probably many altcoins, don't have the same type of bull market doors, at least for me. If I go to something like the weekly chart on ADA and I go to the bull market high to the bear market low, the bull market doors, so to speak, right? This isn't the bull market doors for me, for ADA, but the bull market doors are all the way up here around $2 to around $2.50. That's not the area that I'm waiting for on Cardano. What I'm waiting for is kind of a combination of a couple of things. Number one, it's Bitcoin breaking its bull market doors. So this move that we saw back in 2020, I'm waiting for that. And then number two, the second piece of this is on ADA, I'm utilizing these Lux Algo indicators. We've noted in a video before the change of character right here, followed by the break of structure. That was kind of the indicator for Cardano's bull market doors being broken. And notice when it all happened, right around November, December 2020, right? Right around when Bitcoin broke its bull market doors in 2020. So we go back to the ADA chart and we say, okay, bull market high to bear market low. Look at that. If we would have waited for the lower high Fibonacci to act as bull market doors, that's too long. At least for me, that's too long. It's in between that area that I am waiting for to really start thinking about this. Now, let me talk about this. So here's the Fibonacci for ADA charts over here. And we're waiting for this break of structure. We've had the change of character, waiting for a break of structure. I don't know what it's going to look like. Maybe ADA has to retrace again. Maybe it's after halving. I don't know. I don't know when a Lux Algo break of structure will go off. But I want to discuss what my allocation towards selling looks like when it happens for ADA. By the way, everybody, the Lux Algo indicators I'm talking about, specifically the signals and overlays that I was just looking at on the Bitcoin Monthly, you can go sign up with Lux Algo. I have my link in the description before. Many of you know they're a sponsor of my channel. If you sign up through my link, I'm getting some commissions, so it helps the channel. But I'm telling you, I'm signed up personally on the annual premium plan, I believe it is, and you'll get the signals and overlays and some other things as well in there. But go sign up with them, everybody. You can give it a shot. They're phenomenal indicators. I'm excited about using these indicators as we go into the next cycle and as I figure out how to take profits. But going back here, when will that break of structure indicator that we got back here, signaling the bull market doors for ADA, go off? I'm waiting for it. That's the trigger. Now, in terms of selling, hopefully you aren't sitting there thinking, man, let's see exactly how much Dan is selling of his portfolio, because I'll tell you right now, I don't even know the exact of it, but I'm going to tell you this. If you look back, let me clean this up a little bit, to the last cycle, right? Let's say right here, right? That's ADA breaking the bull market. It's bull market doors. On this weekly chart, this season of time is so, it looks like a lot on the weekly. It's week after week after week, but this is such a short amount of time. And if we get another one of these moves, first off, I will be extremely grateful for that. That means we would be breaking all-time highs. And just for simplicity, this isn't any type of prediction. I want to take kind of this move here after Shelly consolidation to all-time highs, and I just want to bring it over just so we can visualize the potential of this, right? And let's bring it to a conservative swing high of like $8, right? In 2025. Let's say ADA does this. For me personally, when I talk about allocating some ADA to sell, I will say this as a starting point. A lot of people are waiting. They're not even touching their ADA, I'm sure, until all-time high is broken, right? So they're not even touching their ADA until ADA is above this price. For me, that's too risky. So for me, it's too risky to sell a lot of ADA here, and it's too risky to wait until all the way up here. But I will say a majority of my bigger sells would probably be up here. Maybe. And that could change. Maybe it would be 50% of my exits would be in all-time high territory, right? But this is my point I'm trying to make. It's this area above the bull market doors being broken when it starts really taking off, mainly in context to ADA, mainly above $1, where, and I'm not saying I'm starting to sell at $1, but I will say this, I'm starting to think about what does my exit plan look like when we start breaking back above $1 and the bull market doors for ADA are triggered and the bull market doors for Bitcoin are triggered. And when I talk about selling, taking profits, this isn't just, hey, sitting in USD. This is, hey, I'm selling this ADA and it's going into real estate, right? And then when we start getting in this vicinity, a lot of it's probably going to be like, I'm not selling towards USD, just USD, but also moving to Bitcoin. Because as we know, when we start topping out in crypto and altcoins start falling, we start entering a bear market, Bitcoin performs better, right? So if I want to keep allocation in crypto, it's probably going to be safer in Bitcoin than it is in Cardano. So that's a piece of the plan. But it's just this entire time frame really leading up to all-time high, or even we can even just say the bull market doors of ADA, which we aren't using as bull market doors, but all-time high down to the bull market doors triggering whenever it happens. That's that area where, for me, is important to start understanding and even implementing some selling. And that is to say, warming up those sell fingers, right? So does that mean selling just a little at $1.50? Maybe. Scaling out just a little, just to warm up, right? Taking some profits. And let me just visualize it for you, because I know there's going to be people out there like, man, you would sell before all-time high? Well, everybody, we're all different. I have goals and aspirations in other things, right? And if I have the ability, after accumulating ADA in a bear market, to start taking some profits, let's just say at $1.50, 500% gains, I have one thing to say. If you're not even contemplating or thinking about that, this isn't advice or anything. I just think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. So there's this window, and it's not like the majority window of selling, but there's this window where it's like, hey, not a bad idea to start chipping away, or to at least understand and start realizing gains and say, hey, I made some gains, right? Same thing as back here. It would not be a bad idea back then, looking back, would it? To just start warming up those selling fingers. And this applies to every crypto. This is just a chart. And again, I don't know the exact allocation. I don't know the exact amounts. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like for me. But I will tell you, when these things trigger, I'm going to start thinking very heavily about the moves that I need to make to accomplish other goals that I have other than just accumulating only crypto, right? But we're talking real estate. We're talking things like that. And even just the plan of moving some to Bitcoin and all that good stuff. So I wanted to just lay out the groundwork in terms of what it looks like. Maybe it's not so dissected. There's not a lot of detail, I guess you could say, because I don't know just yet my portions and the exits that I'm going to make, but I wanted to try and just lay the foundation of what it's looking like in my mind. And hopefully you enjoyed it, this perspective. I'm really curious of how you all are thinking about all of these things, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's ADA, whether it's other altcoins. So please hit the comments. Let me know what you're thinking out there, everybody. But I really appreciate you watching. Subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.